Hey everyone, happy 4th of July, Pineys. Me and little Joan are here to do the Piney podcast for the 4th of July. Happy birthday, America. Um, okay. Nothing news, no news on the beer virus. It's too early, and everybody's off anyway. So expect a big count on Monday where it's like, oh, there was a peak. Um, but the only real news in South Jersey, other than some museums and libraries are finally starting to open for July 4th, like, yeah, that's where I want to go on the 4th of July. Um, there was an increase in South Jersey in the beer virus, right? And particularly in Hammonton. And now they're saying one of the reasons for that was the migrant workers coming in here. So, once again, never bet against Trump. You know, immigration, no one's against immigrants in this country. No one. Um, and it's not that people don't want immigrants to come here. The problem is when they come illegally, this is what can happen. Um, when you do anything illegally, you don't know what you're getting. You could bring disease. You know, part of customs and part of crossing borders is they check for things like, are you bringing any little pets? Because sometimes those pets might have uh, diseases or insects on them that aren't native to the country you're going to. And just like you have to get shots for certain diseases when you go into other countries, you can't allow certain livestock, certain animals, certain bugs into another ecosystem that can't handle it. And there's examples of this through history, and so they try to prevent it with customs. And and it works about as well as anything else in the government. When you have people sneaking across the border, you can't do that. Okay, you can't do that. You don't know if if the guy's sneaking across a tiny dog rife with disease, that could end up decimating the population of dogs in your country. Wouldn't that be terrible? So, I'm not a big proponent of a wall per se as a solution. I think, there are bigger issues. I kind of understand why he's doing it. It's kind of, at this point, the only thing that can be done. Because what you have to understand is it's not just South Jersey farmers who want immigrant labor. It's a lot of big businesses. And it's a significant cost reduction for them to use migrant workers who are here illegally than to use regular workers. And this goes for construction. It goes for a lot of things. The cheap labor market is a thing, and these politicians won't go after the companies who do this. Very rarely they do. Once in a while they do, but and really it's so pervasive now. So pervasive. You can't go, well, when restaurants were open, you can't go to a restaurant without them having like one or two, guys who are not from this country washing dishes or cleaning up or whatever. You can't, you can barely hire a landscape guy that doesn't have, several workers. And in their defense, they have to compete with other businesses that do that. So if you're not hiring these guys, you're taking on more cost and you're not getting any benefit from it, right? Because people just want the cheapest guy. I mean, the biggest hypocrites in this are, politicians and celebrities. They hire nannies from other countries and they don't pay them much, The cheapest people in the world are the people that are rich. It's crazy, but it's true. When I used to deliver pizzas, I would go to some really nice house, big long driveway, nice cars, 3 pizzas, and the guy would be like waiting for me to fish out the change out of my pocket and wouldn't tip me jack. The opposite of that was one time I went to this motel where sometimes people had to live because they were so poor. And the woman there was, I think she had 2 or 3 kids in the room, 2 or 3 young kids. And she was living in this horrible motel. I felt so bad for her. And then she tried to give me a $5 tip, and I tried to refuse it, but she insisted, and it was just, I felt awful taking it. But, she wanted to show, like, that she was a good person, I guess. But, you've got these big companies that they don't want to part with their money. And until, either we stand up as people and say, well, you got to get on these companies, who will then just turn around and raise their prices and absorb the cost through us. We have to do something about the border. The beer virus, if you're going to make it an issue, it's kind of hard to make the beer virus an issue and then say, well, we need open borders. Those two kind of don't go together. So, anyhow, that's the reason. Hate to be a downer on the 4th of July. Forget about that for now. Go out, eat some blueberries, go watch some fireworks, and have a hamburger and hot dog. Not necessarily in that order.